Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Keralakam CBSE School Mudor online classes. In previous class we completed exercise 2.2 and we started discussion about patterns in whole numbers. Already I discussed some introduction part related to this patterns in whole numbers. Already you know that we can represent some of the numbers by using line, rectangle, square and triangle. What are those four things you have to remember here? Line, rectangle and square, triangle. Okay. So here I have shown you some of the examples. 2 can be represented by 2 dots, which is a straight line. You can see here, if you join, you will get line. And for 3 also, you can represent 3 dots. Like this only, we represented 6 by a rectangle. First, these two I have given example for line. Next, for rectangle, I considered 6. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 dots are there, and if you join this, you will get rectangle. Okay. Next, after this, I considered for square line. This is about line and this is about rectangle. Next, we discussed about square. So, if you consider 4 dots, means you will get square here. And one more thing you can observe here in square, always number of dots in rows and columns equal. Always number of rows and columns are equal in square. Suppose for example you can consider 9 also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can see here, if you join these two line segment, you will get square, and you can see here 3 dots in each row and 3 dots in each column. Total 9 dots. Okay. So in square always you will get equal number of rows and columns. Next, after that, last one is triangle. We can represent this 3 with triangle. 1, 2 and here 3. And one more thing you have to observe here, if you join you will get triangle, and in base row, in base or first row we have 2 dots, and the row above this line is, it contains only 1 dot. So it is reduced by 1 dot here. Okay, we can represent 9 also with this triangle. How? 1, 2, 3, 4, and here in next row, in base row, how many dots to represent 9? 4 dots I consider. In next row I will get only 3 dots. 4 plus 3, 2. Otherwise I will consider only 3 dots here. 3 plus 2, 5, and sorry, we cannot represent 9 by a triangle. You can see here 6 dots I connected by using triangle. You can see here in first row I have 3 dots, in second row I have 2 dots, means it is decreasing by 1 dot here. In next row I have only 1 dot. So you can observe here in these two examples, in first row you can contain any number of dots, but when you move to the next row, it should be reduced by 1 dot. Here, if I have 3 dots in first row, in second row, how many dots you have? 2 dots. Again in top row you have only 1 dot. So it is decreasing by 1 dot. Okay. So these are the some of the shapes we can construct or represent 2 different numbers. First one is line. After that we will discuss about rectangle, square, triangle. Okay. Next page, page number 42. They have given some of the examples here. That is, they have given number and that shape is possible or not. They have given. Okay. I will discuss some of the given numbers. Number they have given in first column. Next line, rectangle, square, triangle. This is given. So number 2 is they have given here. Is it possible to represent this 2 as a line? Yes, it is possible. Because you can see here, if you represent 2 dots like this, it's possible to represent this as a line. But here, can you represent these 2 dots as a rectangle? It is not possible, because in rectangle minimum you want 4 dots. Here we have 2 dots. So here it is not possible. No. And in square also minimum you want 2 dots. So you cannot represent this as a square. And in triangle, how many dots you want? Minimum 3 dots. So it is not possible to represent that as triangle also. If you have number 2, then you have, if you have number 3. Is it possible to represent it as a line? Yes, it is possible, because just 3 dots, if you consider like this, you will get line segment. Okay. Next, rectangle. Again, it is not possible, because in rectangle, how many dots you want? 4 dots. Next, in square, again it is not possible here also. In square also minimum we want 4 dots. In triangle basic thing is that you can consider any number of dots in base row. So I consider 2 dots here, but in next row you should reduce that by 1. So if I have 2 dots in base row, in next row I will get only 1 dot. So 2 plus 1 means 3 I will get. Okay, and one more thing here, very important, you have to remember that always in triangle you will get only 1 dot at the top. Always in triangle you will get only 1 dot at the top row. So here 1, 2, 3. So if you join this, you will get triangle here. So triangle is possible here. Okay. Now I will consider next number, that is 4. So we can represent 4 as a line. Yes, because if I consider line like this, it is possible. Okay. Next, is it possible to consider rectangle by using 4 dots? Yes, it is possible. You can see here, if you consider dots like this, if you join these 4 sides, you will get rectangle only. So here it is possible. Yes. Next, we can represent 4 dots as square also. See here. In each row and column, same number of dots are there. That is 2 and 2, and you can see here we are getting square here. So it is possible to get square. Yes. Next, is it possible to get triangle by using these 4 dots? It is not possible, because we can try here. If you consider 3 dots in first row, if you consider 3 dots in first row, in next row we should consider 2 dots. So 1, 2. 3 plus 2 means what we will get? 5. But here only we have only 4 dots. So it is not possible here. Or we can try with 2 dots in base. If you consider 2 dots in base, in top row or in next row you can consider only 1 dot. So now if you count 1, 2, 3, only 3 dots you will get. But here we want 4 dots. And for the triangles, what is the rules you have here? In base you can consider any number of dots, but when you move to the next row, you should reduce that number of dots by 1. So here, if you have 2 dots, in next row you should reduce it by 1, so that you will get only 1 dot. Suppose if you have 3 dots in base row, you should reduce it by 1, so that you will get 2 dots in next row. Suppose if you have here 4 dots, then in next row you will get how many dots? 3 dots. Again in next row you will get 2 dots like this. And one more important thing here in triangle, you have to remember that always in top of the row you will get only 1 dot. But here you are getting only 3 dots when you try to represent like this. So by using these 4 dots, 4 number of dots, we cannot represent triangle. Now I will consider 5. Yes, we can represent these 5 dots as a line segment. Yes, it is possible. Now We will consider rectangle. So rectangle means 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have taken only 4 dots now. Still one more dot is remaining. So where to consider that? If you consider here or here, it is not possible. We will not get this rectangle, because for rectangle we want minimum 4 dots, but here for 5 odd number of dots we cannot get rectangle or square. For odd number of dots we cannot get rectangle or square, therefore I will consider here no for rectangle and square. And triangle, is it possible to get triangle by using 5 dots? See here, if I consider 3 dots in first row, in next row I should consider 2 dots, because already I told in next row always I will reduce those dots by 1. So 3, and here we have 2. So 3 plus 2 means 5. But here you can see in top row we are not getting only 1 dot. Okay? So if you consider one more dot here, it is 6. 3 plus 2 plus 1 means 6. Or if you consider 2 dots here, in next row we will get only 1 dot. So it is not possible to get triangle by using 5 dots. Now I will consider 6 here. So if it is 6 also, then also we can get a line segment by considering 6 straight dots. Now about rectangle, yes, it is possible, because you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you join all these dots, you will get rectangle. Okay. Next one is square. Is it possible to get square? You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we have 2 rows and 3 columns. But what I told about square, to get square, always number of rows and number of columns should be equal. Again I am repeating, listen it carefully. To get square, always number of rows and number of columns should be equal. Here how many rows you have? Only 2 rows we have. And here, if you consider about column, how many columns you have here? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 columns are there. Okay? So 2 rows, 3 columns means here number of rows and columns are different. So this is not where. So I will try 2 columns. Okay? So if I try 2 columns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again you can see now we got 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. 3 rows, how many columns? 1, 2. 2 columns. Again we are getting different number of rows and columns, means we will not get square with these 6 dots. So I will write here no. Remember this, for square always number of rows and number of columns should be equal. And is it possible to get triangle by using 6 dots? We will check now. So I will consider 3 dots in baseline. I will consider 3 dots in baseline, means in next row, how many dots you have to consider? Only 2 dots, because you have to reduce these 3 dots by 1 dot. Therefore, if you reduce it by 1, you will get 2 dots. And again you got 2 dots here. So now in next row you have to reduce it by 1 more dot. So this is last one. 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 1, 6. And most importantly, it satisfies 2 conditions, that here you are reducing dots by 1 in each of the row. So in base row we have 3 dots, and in next row we have 2. 3, 2, 1 dot. Means we are reducing dots by 1. And in topmost row, how many dots we have? Only 1 dot. Therefore, we can get triangle. If you join, you will get triangle here. So we can get triangle by using 6 dots. So I will write here yes. Okay? Like this only they have given numbers up to 13. Just write numbers like this and check whether you will get line, rectangle, square or triangle like this only. Okay? Pause this video and write this table. Now I will discuss about next concept. observation. Observation of pattern can guide you to simplify the process. Study the following. So if you observe these patterns, if you analyze whatever values we are writing here, then it will be easy for you to simplify the calculation part. Means how to add, how to subtract. This will be easy for you people. Okay, just observe it cleanly. What are the values we are considering here? Okay, so in first problem or first example, they have given 177 plus 9. Sorry, 117 plus 9 they have given. So now we want to add here this 9 to 117, but it is little bit difficult to add these odd numbers like 117 plus 9. So that what we will do here, instead of adding 9, I will directly add 10 here. 117. We want to add actually 9, but I will not add 9 because it is little bit difficult when you are adding odd numbers like 117 plus 9. So what I will do now, instead of adding this 9, directly I will add 10. Because it is easy to add numbers like 10, 100, 1000. It is very easy to add numbers like this. So instead of adding this 9, what I am doing here, I will written 117 as it is only, and in place of 9 I have written 10. So that it is easy for me to add these numbers. So now next what I will do now, instead of adding this 9, I am adding 10 here because it is easy for me to add. So now I am considering one extra here, so that I will subtract it by 1. I will add it by 10. Instead of adding by 9, I am adding it by 10, so that I will subtract it by 1 because this 10 is 1 greater than 9. 10 is 1 greater than 9. Therefore, I will add this 10 first, then I will subtract that number by 1. So let us see how to do this calculation. 117 plus 10. Already you know how to calculate easily when you are adding 10, 100 or 1000. So 117 plus 10 means 127. 127, and here we have minus 1. 127 minus 1 means 126. Just what we did here, first we have written 117 plus 9 as 117 plus 10. Why? Because it is easy for calculation. You can easily add 117 with this 10. Okay. Next I have written minus 1 because instead of writing this 9, I have written 10. Therefore, I will subtract it by minus 1. So 117 plus 10 means you will get 127. 127 minus 1. I will write it as it is. So 127 minus 1 means you will get 126. Now I will discuss one more example, that is 117 minus 9. 117 minus 9. So now 117, and it is difficult to subtract numbers or numbers like 117 minus 9. So that again here also I will subtract it by 10 only. Instead of subtracting by 9, directly I will subtract by 10. Then I will add 1 here because we want to subtract it by 9, but it is difficult. So that what I will do now, directly subtract it by 10, then I will add by 1. So now 117 minus 10 means what we get? 107, and plus 1 we have, I will write it, 107 plus 1 means you will get 108. Okay. Now I will solve an example by using 99. So if we have 99, here we have 9, therefore we consider 10, that is nearest round number. So if you have 99, then I will consider 100. So let us see example related to that also. they have given 117 plus 99. 117 plus 99. So here again it is difficult to add odd numbers like 117 plus 99. So instead of adding 99, I will add directly 100. So 117 plus 100. I will not add 99, directly I will add 100. Then I will subtract it by 1. Okay. So instead of adding 99, first I will add 100. After that I will subtract that value by minus 1. Let us see what we will get. 117 plus 100 means 217, and minus 1 I will write it. 217 minus 1 means what you will get? 216. Okay. Next pattern I will see. Sorry, I will discuss now. That is 117 minus 99. 117 minus 99. Okay. Here again it is difficult to subtract 99 from this 177 because these are odd numbers. It is difficult to subtract. So what we will do now? Instead of subtracting by 99 directly, I will subtract it by 100. Then I will add 1 to this. Okay. So 117 minus 99. Instead of that, I will write minus 100 directly. Then I will add this by 1. Because instead of subtracting by 99, directly I am subtracting it by 100. Therefore, I will add it by 1 here. So now 117 minus 100 means what you will get? 117 minus 100 means 17, and plus 1 I have here. So 17 plus 1 means what you will get now? 18 is the answer. Okay. So by observing this pattern, easily you can calculate here. When you are adding 9 or 99, when you are subtracting 9 or minus 99, just consider nearest round number like 10 and 100. So that if you are adding 9 there, just add 10 first, then subtract 1. So that just you added 9 only. Suppose if you are subtracting 9 here, what you will do? Subtract directly 10, then add 1 number to the answer. Like that only. If you are adding 99, directly add 100 first, then subtract it by minus 1. Suppose if you are subtracting 99, directly subtract it by 100, then add 1 to this. Okay. Like this you can solve problems very easily. Practice these things, and in page number 42 they have given one table. Complete that table, and like this only I will discuss some more patterns. Okay. After that I will start exercise 2.3. Thank you all.